A good big man always beat a good little man. He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo.
Bernard Hopkins, a legend who's seen every trick in the fight game, isn't holding back when it comes to Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. The sharp eye of a strategist is warning the boxing world that Canelo may be stepping right into Crawford's trap. Hopkins has broken down the matchup in a way only he can, exposing the dangers Canelo faces and why this fight might not play out the way fans expect. Bernard Hopkins, known for his sharp analysis, didn't just give Terence Crawford a chance. He claimed an 85% likelihood that Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez. This wasn't a wild guess. It came from someone who understands the ring like few others do. According to Hopkins, Crawford doesn't need to prove he can handle Canelo's power. Doing that would play right into Canelo's hands and turn the fight into a straight win. Instead, Hopkins pointed out the first Crawford's mindset. He needs to enter the ring with one clear goal from the very first round. He must show he is the better boxer and that Canelo's time has passed and that he is there to take the title.
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for his mind. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? Why? Because he's not going in there, from my understanding and what I see, and having a conversation with him years ago about what he wanted to accomplish, and now that he's here, that now he's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the first round, that I belong without showing that I am tough. I earned my position to be here. And I want to show you, even though you're being stubborn, that your time not only have came, but it's gone.
This is about psychological dominance, not just physical endurance. But to grasp how shocking this prediction is, you must consider what Hopkins said just months earlier.
Sugar Ray Robinson wanted to make history by going from 60 to 75. And he lost the fight because he couldn't come out for the 15th or the 14th or whatever round it was after the 10th, 11th, and 12th round. That's the only reason Sugar Ray Robinson lost that fight. A good big man always beat a good little man. I like the good big man. That's ridiculous. That's why we have weight classes. Size does matter. And in most cases, we get those moments in history where size didn't matter, but that's why it's history. But most of the time, it's the right call. I think he got a lot of fish to fry underneath where he's comfortable. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage. Put yourself at an advantage. It's only fair. Thank you, brother.
Before making the 85% prediction, Hopkins described a potential Canelo versus Crawford fight as life-risking for Crawford. He wasn't just referring to a loss on the record, he meant the kind of physical toll that can permanently change a fighter. Hopkins knows the harsh reality of weight classes better than most. He understands that moving up 2 divisions to fight a powerful champion like Canelo isn't a game. It's a gamble with one's health. Every punch Canelo throws packs the weight and force of a true super middleweight, something Crawford has never faced. Hopkins' warning painted a grim picture of a smaller, skillful boxer being overwhelmed by the unavoidable physics of a bigger, stronger man. Bernard Hopkins' boxing philosophy: a good big man will always beat a good little man. He didn't just preach this truth, he lived it.
Great chance. He have a great chance because of his heart, his talent, and also his game plan and his strategy. But Canelo is no pushover. I've watched Canelo for multiple years. Again, the best is fighting the best. And Crawford dared to be great. And this is one of the ways you do it. And you tell the world, watch, pay attention, and watch me make history. I will be one of those watching amongst millions of other people. I can't wait to, I believe, November or September. Correct.
The most memorable moment of his career came when at 41, he jumped up 2 weight classes to challenge light heavyweight King Antonio Tarver. No one believed he had a chance. He was older, smaller, and stepping into a division of powerful fighters. But Hopkins put on a masterclass, outclassing Tarver and surprising the world. He proved that a remarkable smaller fighter could defeat a good bigger fighter. But he also recognized the extreme difficulty and perfection needed to accomplish this. In his view, Canelo now embodies that good big man, strong, tough, with an iron chin, and used to the power at 168 pounds. Canelo has spent years fighting and beating bigger opponents, from Sergey Kovalev to Gennady Golovkin. He represents the very challenge Hopkins had to conquer. According to Hopkins' analysis, Crawford's pathway to victory lies in making Canelo feel irrelevant from the first bell. It's not about fleeing or just surviving. It's about asserting his will and skill to neutralize Canelo's physical advantages. Crawford needs to use his superior footwork, quick jab, and keen sense of timing to make Canelo look slow and awkward. The aim is to plant a doubt in Canelo's mind. Each time Canelo lunges forward only to hit nothing, and each time he gets caught by a sharp counter he didn't see coming, the trap tightens. It's about making the champion question his reign. Hopkins believes if Crawford can win the mental battle in the first 3 rounds, the physical differences will begin to fade. The bigger man will hesitate, his confidence will wane, and he will be compelled to fight Crawford's fight. However, as the actual fight approaches, the doubters have grown louder, mostly due to Crawford's last performance. When Terence Crawford moved up to 154 pounds to fight Israil Madrimov, everyone expected another flawless performance like his win against Errol Spence Jr. Instead, they witnessed a tough, gritty 12-round match. Crawford won a clear decision, but he didn't deliver a spectacular knockout. He looked human. Instantly, the whispers began. If he couldn't dominate a junior middleweight, how could he possibly stand up to a beast like Canelo? According to Hopkins' theory, this might have been the most crucial part of the trap. That tough, tactical fight may have been ideal preparation, forcing Crawford to rely on his intelligence and adapt for 12 challenging rounds against a crafty opponent. More importantly, it may have given Team Canelo a false sense of security. They saw a fighter who could be hit, who could be frustrated, and who didn't seem like an unstoppable force. While Crawford's performance against Madrimov may have lulled Canelo into a false sense of confidence, it raised significant new questions about prep. To prepare for a pound-for-pound fighter like Crawford, Canelo has brought in another, the undefeated, undisputed threat of the welterweight division, Jaron "Boots" Ennis. On the surface, this looks like a smart move. Iron sharpens iron. Training with a young, fast, and powerful switch hitter like Ennis seems like the ideal way to mimic Crawford's style. But some don't agree. Veteran trainer Greg Hackett has strongly criticized the decision, viewing it as a serious strategic misstep. He argues that during sparring, a part of you always becomes exposed. Is Canelo genuinely learning Crawford's style, or is he unintentionally revealing his own secrets, timing, and tendencies?
I mean, Jaron Ennis get from it being in with the elite, a guy who's prepared for everything. One thing you can't say about Canelo is that he hasn't seen something. Canelo's seen southpaws, he's seen tall guys, short guys, slick fighters, he's seen bulls, he's been up against everything. So you get a world of experience with a guy like Canelo. You get a guy who's in full confidence. The reason I say I wouldn't do it is because I wouldn't spar you and then here go a year later they fighting. Nah,
I mean, doesn't for as much as it does for Canelo, it does for Boots though, right? If that were to be the case.
Yeah, but there's so many ways it could go. And what I'm saying is, if I was to be where Boots is right now, if one thing we can all agree on, everybody hate Boots right now. They mad at Boots, right? Yeah. So wouldn't it be crazy if Canelo fought Bud and then fought Boots the next year? Wouldn't that be wild? That would be wild. I don't want you to know nothing. Like, I wouldn't want you to feel nothing that I bring to the table. Nothing. even if it is from a sparring standpoint. And it is different, but it's still the same. It's still different. It's still dangerous. You still got to get it in. And I still got to, some part of you is going to be exposed in the sparring session. I mean, whether it's good or bad. That's the thing. It could be all good, but still exposed. I still know. I understand. I see it now.
The boxing world top fighters rarely spar against each other before they face off for real. This unusual alliance in Canelo's camp adds another layer of intrigue, suggesting a complex strategy that becomes even more tangled considering another of Hopkins' bold theories.
They were saying that Boots Ennis sold out. He sold out his black race because he's sparring with Canelo for Crawford. The inconsistency is just incredible. Boots Ennis isn't the first black sparring partner Canelo ever had. No one said anything. Right now, Bud Crawford is Malcolm X. What happens is when you are a fanboy, it's like this guy is going to be black culture personified. It happened with Wilder, happened with Devin Haney, all right? When Canelo had other sparring partners, black sparring, no problem. They were fine with the race. Boots turns his back on the black race. It's funny because Crawford ain't even saying that shit. Crawford like, that's good work. Crawford is sparring with Lester Martinez, all kind of Mexican sparring partners, as he should. I haven't heard one person say that any of the Mexican sparring partners were turning their back on the Mexican race.
David Benavidez, the undefeated, relentless Mexican monster that many consider the greatest threat to Canelo's reign. For years, fans and analysts have called for that fight, a true battle for supremacy at 168 pounds. But the fight has never happened. Bernard Hopkins has suggested that the entire spectacle of the Crawford fight might be a clever distraction.
What fights?
For Crawford, Canelo, back to Canelo, would you rather see him fight a Terence Crawford or Benavidez?
We were talking about who?
Well, you know, the casual fan, they don't care about weight classes. They just know the names, Crawford, Canelo. They want to see it.
Crawford cares about his life. And with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo, fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic and makes sense and less life risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys our weight. And now you want me to do something. Canelo's not coming down to 60.
No.
Is Canelo taking a fight against a much smaller man, a calculated, highly profitable risk, to avoid the bigger, more dangerous threat that Benavidez represents? From this angle, choosing Crawford is a business decision, a way to create a historic payday without facing the primal challenge posed by Benavidez. If this holds true, it could be the final piece of Crawford's trap. Canelo might view this as a legacy-defining yet manageable challenge, underestimating the fierce determination of an all-time great who has never lost. Bernard Hopkins isn't confused or contradicting himself. He is constructing a full picture of a fight that exists on two different levels. On the physical level, it's a life-risking endeavor for Terence Crawford. The physical laws are against him. The history of boxing is against him. The raw power of a bigger champion makes this one of the most perilous challenges imaginable. But on the psychological level, a carefully planned trap awaits. It's a trap founded on mindset, timing, and the weakening of a champion's confidence. This is where the 85% chance of victory lies, not in overcoming Canelo's strength, but in making it irrelevant. Hopkins sees both paths clearly. One leads to a harsh ending where a good big man proves the old rule correct. The other leads to a checkmate, a strategic triumph that will be studied for years to come. The remaining question is, which path will unfold when the bell rings? Is Canelo Alvarez stepping into the most brilliant trap in modern boxing, or will he show that some mountains are simply too big to conquer? The answer will shape legacies. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.